Kellie Levans, Milwaukee Rock Music Examiner.
Kellie, what's up?
Hey, Randy. How are you?
I'm alright. I'm sitting here working on some solos.
You're working on some songs?
Solos?
Now, was your birthday yesterday?
What's that?
Was your birthday yesterday?
Birthday was yesterday.
And what did you do to celebrate?
Man, I've worked up some, I just worked on solos. I did all my celebrating over the weekend with my buddy Scattered Hamlet that I did that guest appearance on their record. And they was up here running through Chicago. And then I went and, got with them and jumped on stage with them and played the song that I do with them.
Well, that's awesome. And happy birthday from us here at the Milwaukee Rock Music Examiner.
Right on. Killer.
Now,
yeah, man, I remember, and as soon as I heard your name, I'm like, I know that name. And then I look at your picture, I'm like, yeah, Kellie.
yes, we met at the Back Bar in Janesville, Wisconsin, when you performed there, and you were so polite, and we had the greatest time. Now, I was looking on the internet this morning and see you have a show with your new band, Emperors and Elephants, at Bada Brew on Friday night.
Yep. And, I'll be playing with Kid Ryan, the kid drummer that went on to IU, so I'm really looking forward to a little family reunion with him,
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? We are using a Skype internet line for our interview, so we get a little bit of feedback. Who will you be playing with, Randy? I'm sorry.
Kid Ryan Bennett, that was the THC drummer on the Rolling record.
Oh, okay.
He moved on Empire. So this is going to be my first little reunion to get back around him, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Awesome. Are you Chicago side right now, or do you still have to make the trip?
No, I'm in Chicago. The Jason from Dean Guitars film and crew, and if you see any of the NAMM footage from the Dean TV, that's all him. And he's been a buddy of mine since like '07. And once this, I had a layover at the airport here at Midway coming in from Pittsburgh, and called him up and said, I just finished my therapy on my shoulder when I got it injured, and I said, man, if I could start with the foundation of you on drums. And about 2 weeks later, I'm getting a phone call that I lost my guitar player. I'm headed to the studio, and they started sending me some tracks to work up, and I flew out here on spring break with no gear, just played on their stuff and ran through the stuff with the band. And I already know everybody in the band. I mean, I've been around these guys for a while, and that just, there it was. I knew for sure right then. I went back to Texas and buttoned up everything. Got, my kids, a couple of little kids still in school, and just kissed them by and told them, they know what I do out here. So I headed up here and jumped right off an airplane, right into a jam room, and unboxed my gear, ran through the set, and ran up there to Milwaukee, and then opened up for Seven Dust.
Oh, that's awesome.
The same day.
Now, did you open up for Seven Dust at the rave?
Yeah, I was at the rave playing.
Wow, Randy, I was supposed to be at that show. I had interviewed Lejean a couple days prior to the show, but we were pre-booked, so I couldn't get out there. Bummer.
Yeah.
You guys must have been added to that billing last minute.
Jason, he works something with it.
Hi, this is Kellie Levans, Milwaukee Rock Music Examiner.
Kellie, what's up?
Hey, Randy. How are you?
I'm alright. I'm sitting here working on some solos.
You're working on some songs?
Solos?
Now, was your birthday yesterday?
What's that?
Was your birthday yesterday?
Birthday was yesterday.
And what did you do to celebrate?
Man, I've worked up I just worked on solos. I did all my celebrating over the weekend with my buddy Scattered Hamlet that I did that guest appearance on their record, and they was up here running through Chicago, and then I went and got with them and jumped on stage with them and played the song that I do with them.
Well, that's awesome, and happy birthday from us here at the Milwaukee Rock Music Examiner.
Right on. Killer.
Now,
yeah, man, I remember, and as soon as I heard your name, I'm like, I know that name, I know that name. And then I look at your picture, I'm like, yeah, Kellie.
Yes, we met at the back bar in Janesville, Wisconsin, when
Yep.
you performed there, and you were so polite, and we had the greatest time. Now, I was looking on the internet this morning and see you have a show with your new band, Emperors and Elephants, at Bata Brew on Friday night.
Yep. And, I'll be playing with Kid Ryan, the kid drummer that went on to IU, so I'm really looking forward to a little family reunion with him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? We are using a Skype internet line for our interview, so we get a little bit of feedback. Who will you be playing with, Randy? I'm sorry.
Kid Ryan Bennett, that was the THC drummer on the Rolling record.
Oh, okay.
He moved on Empire. So this is going to be my first little family reunion to get back around him. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Awesome. Are you Chicago side right now, or do you still have to make the trip?
No, I'm in Chicago. The Jason from Dean Guitars film and crew, and if you see any of the NAM footage from the Dean TV, that's all him. And he's been a buddy of mine since like '07. And once this, I had a layover at the airport here at Midway coming in from Pittsburgh, and called him up and said, I just finished my therapy on my shoulder when I got injured, and I said, man, if I could start with the foundation of you on drums. And about 2 weeks later, I'm getting a phone call that I lost my guitar player. I'm headed to the studio, and they started sending me some tracks to work up, and I flew out here on spring break with no gear, just played on their stuff and ran through the stuff with the band. And I already know everybody in the band. I mean, I've been around these guys for a while, and that just, there it was. I knew for sure right then. I went back to Texas and buttoned up everything. Got, my kids, a couple of little kids still in school, and just kissed them by and told them, they know what I do out here. So I headed up here and jumped right off an airplane, right into a jam room, and unboxed my gear, ran through the set, and ran up there to Milwaukee, and then opened up for Seven Dust.
Oh, that's awesome.
The same day.
No, did you open up for Seven Dust at the rave?
Yeah, I was at the rave playing.
Wow, Randy, I was supposed to be at that show. I had interviewed Lejean a couple days prior to the show, but we were pre-booked, so I couldn't get out there. Bummer. You guys must have been added to that billing last minute.
Jason, he works something with it. So yeah, there was actually about 15 bands there, and they've got 3 different places. So we was first one out of the gate before the Nationals.
Well, I can't wait to see you with Empires and Elephants. We're really excited to see you back in the saddle. Now,
man, I'm more than happy to be back. It was a long year, and not only was it physically, it was mentally to be out of that ball game, and drop that PeaceMaker record and then not get to tour it. And then when I'm ready to come back, Big Dad wasn't ready for me to come back.
now this is a situation. I first learned that you were no longer.
So yeah, there was actually about 15 bands there, and they've got 3 different places. So we was first one out of the gate before the Nationals.
Well, I can't wait to see you with Empires and Elephants. We're really excited to see you back in the saddle. Now,
man, I'm more than happy to be back. It was a long year, and not only was it physically, it was mentally to be out of that ball game, and drop that PeaceMaker record and then not get to tour it. And then when I'm ready to come back, Big Dad wasn't ready for me to come back.
now this is a situation. I first learned that you were no longer with Texas Hippie Coalition last August. I was set to interview Texas Hippie Coalition at the 95.1 Will Rock Fest. And I went over to the official site, and I literally saw something I've never seen before as a professional journalist, that they cropped your picture out.
Yeah, how about that?
I was in shock.
That's all, Big Dad. That's, I got Loud Thunder out here, and, I think it's, man, he just, well, I think once he realized that he took the stage and then all the eyes were on him instead, it was, that's what I mean by, I don't think he's ready for me to come back because he's a glory hound. Like,
It's
hair's prettier than his, you know?
you know, this is sounding a little bit like a Axel and Slash thing all over again.
Yeah, I get related to that all the time. The people that's going to see them shows are comparing it to Kiss without Ace and Guns N' Roses without Slash.
Now, when I did interview Wes and John from the current lineup of Texas Hippie Coalition last August, they spoke of you highly, Randy, and they said you are pretty much so accredited to the Brotherhood of the Worldwide Chapters and that you are actually a co-founder of Texas Hippie Coalition. Is that true?
Oh yeah, that was I was one. Yeah, co-founder of it. I was in there, day one. First day we got to throw bed crawling and Texas tags.
And what year was that?
2003.
2003. Yeah. Now, when we were prepared to do our interview at Will Rock Fest, I was asked not to bring your name up. I was not comfortable with that. Why do you think that I was asked not to bring your name up?
That's all, people, the fan base and what established that band, is, just every band has a great freaking guitar player, okay, but they're here for that all the time, and it's, they want to talk about them instead of, it all turns to talking about me. It is label. You think that when you sign a band that when people write into the record label or that they would ask about the band, but Tim Porter, the CEO of it, said that 90% of the questions are asked me, and I'm sure that they're probably getting sick of having to answer for that, because now it's like, what are they thinking, And once West dropped off, they got these, they just grabbed some young little $100 they can make, some men, and they're having I'm not exactly for sure. I haven't even seen the show, but I know they're getting feedback on it on why don't you call that coop bag, Because I'm available. I let them know, when I was ready to come back, and I went through that shoulder injury and got it repaired. And I think they'd already made up their mind, like probably back to last August. I didn't finish with my therapy until Thanksgiving around then, and I believe that was already all made up, But I did let them know that my services are here. If you need me, holler at me. And then as soon as West drops off and they start rolling around with the kids they got in there, they I let them, hey, I'm out here if you need me, man. And that's there's no communication, no phone calls, and nothing, man. So
No.
that's where I realized that I have got to. I'm a musician to be heard, and I've got I'm always making music. There's somebody out there I can make some music with.
No, Randy, you have to realize that the Wisconsin chapter of the Texas Hippie Coalition and Illinois chapter have been very excited worldwide also that PeaceMaker is getting radio play every day, such as with Turn It Up. Now, what contribution did you make to that album?
Yeah, the whole thing.
The whole
wrote,
thing?
Tracked and played and all that, and then I think the only credit Randy Gets Well. I think I didn't even get a copy of it. I didn't even get time a few months ago, and I just to go buy a copy of it. I should have a copy of it. And so
You should have a copy of it. You should have a gold copy of it.
I did read it that it was my name did make it, and that it said we hope Randy gets well. So at least they was.
Well, we know you're alive and kicking.
Go ahead, ma'am. I can't.
I'm sorry. I said we now know you're alive and kicking. Well,
Yes, ma'am.
could you tell me a little bit about if you're going to be going into the studio with Emperors and Elephants?
Yeah, we're actually already in it, man. I've already pretty much everything I got. I did probably about 80% of everything to do. I've got my 3 main solos left. The other guitar player, Jeff, is really killer shred cat. Comes from the Paul Gilbert School of Lick. to me. We split down on a lot of solos, and then he's got some songs. He's taken all the solos, and I've got 3 of them that I've got the whole solo in, and so that's all I've got staring me in the face. I've got 3 solos to knock out.
Well, the
And
Midwest.
and we'll be done. We got a little bit of vocal, a little bit of just fine, just a little finesse here and there on some spots, and it's all done with it. We'll
Well,
be on track and probably in a week.
now us, our Wisconsin fans here are really excited to take that little trip down to Bad Brew on Friday night, the April 19th. I believe it's Friday. I won't be able to make that show, but I'm hoping you guys are going to hit Wisconsin again real soon.
Yes, that's it. We're just, we're taking it. We're already jumping in. These guys ain't scared to play nothing, and I mean, straight out, that's what I meant by flying in straight out of the airplane, run through the set, and just go out there and get it on. That's what it's all about. So, I've tasted the stage at 7th grade, and I've spent the rest of my life to get back on it. And, just to roll in, and I'll come right off an airplane, unbox my gear, run through the set, and throw it in a trailer, and head up to Milwaukee and do a show like Seven Dust. And, that really, right there, I'm back and loved it.
That is awesome. Now, Empire and Emperors and Elephants and Texas Hippie Coalition, it basically are on the same circuit, the same scene. What happens when you're booked with Texas Hippie Coalition? What happens when you and Big Dad meet face to face?
Oh, we've already met. I didn't. All the communication was broke. The last time I talked to any of the guys, them two, I talked to every ex-member, management, label, booking agent. The tip order from the record label constantly. They're all watching this. They all got their hand out, waiting for me to slap a disc in their hand. But John and Big Dad, no communication whatsoever, and ran into Big Dad at a local place at Smitty's in our hometown, and you got 2 guys that spent 10 years together that, man, it was like old friends meeting. There was some smiles, there was a little bit of some business going on. We got some songs in the bag that just the producer passed over on that's more like Pride of Texas beats of that band, and there's some of that stuff in the bag, and we even talked about might have to go get some of them tracks, but it was really each other. There were some hugs and some smiles off a picture and throwing it out there.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. When I did interview Wes and John, they said you were doing, this was last summer, remember, you had something going on with Dimebag Darrell. I don't know if it was a tribute at, what's your involvement with Dimebag Darrell and your...
Rides for Dom. I did, and I thought I was on that VH1 Pantera Remastered Behind the Music, because I went out there for the ride in Dallas, and when they fired up all the bikes, and that was the most bikes they had out there, for a ride, yet, because that thing's growing every year.
Is that in Texas?
I went and did the national anthem, and right before they fired up the bikes, they thought I had a little TV time on it, but you didn't make the clip. When the bikes rolled out, I was right before that, So that was something there. I went out to, I got some friends out in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Adam, lead singer of Scattered Hamlet, and I made a guest appearance on their record, and a band called Zero Fame that's been doing Pissed Off and Mad About It in their set, for a couple of years, but I got invited to go Pissed Off with them.
That's
and
awesome.
This is when I was going through my therapy, coming off the shoulder injury, and, I still wasn't able to play a full-length set. I could only play for about 30 minutes before my arm would fatigue and burn through the biceps. No, there's no way to shake it off. It's pretty well just kind of nursing the arm, and went out there and played a few played originals and off, and it's a real good eye-opener that, wow, this, man, it went over, I could do this song for the rest of my life with anybody. It's over really good. Man, it's, Bible thing. I want to sing a new song, man.
Oh, for sure.
Out here tracking and writing and getting in with, Emperors and Elephants. I got a deep library of killer material, and that's what I got to right at the start of their scratch track for the record and stuff. So I get to, worry it, on every track and stuff. So that's what it's about, And these are some good buddies of mine that I've been around for a while. And Jason ended up, we bonded when we first met, and he's probably been my best friend in the industry, throughout this whole run since like '07.
I've met Jason twice, and he didn't like my business cards. So that's a little joke between him and I. So I'm going to have to hook up with him eventually and get an interview with him also. Now, I wanted to backtrack here a little bit. When you said the Ride for Dime, was that in Texas or was that in Sturgis?
No, that was in Texas. That's out there, right up there, in Arlington.
Do you know?
Where I did, but they did the Ride for Dime at Trees in Dallas, but the ride started at the Harley shop over there in Arlington, Fort Worth, and that's where I did the national anthem for them. And I did it right before we fired up the bikes. And the guys from VH1 were there. There's two guys from England, and they was filming it. So, they was really blown away by my anthem. Matter of fact, one of the guys in his English accent walked up to me and said, that was better than Jimi Hendrix.
Wow, what a compliment. Does that clip hold?
I laughed, but, I laughed at him and stuff like that. But I did think, he passed they went back to England and over to London, and they passed it around to some of their people, and, it was, something I started raising an eyebrow for them. They thought it was outstanding.
Randy, does that clip hold on YouTube or on the internet at all?
Actually, yeah, there's I can even grab it and send it up to you, but yeah, that's
Could you please? We would like to.
Stephanie Jackson sent it and just put it up here recently, just within a few weeks ago, because that thing just aired like last week, that Pantera thing, and part didn't make it on the VH1 thing, because that's all about Dime,
Right.
And Pantera, I'm too close, the hair's too close to him, the guitar's too close to him, and you can see where there's no reason to throw something I'm doing out there to any of that guy's thunder or coach, he's just a hero of mine, and so I get to have to do things for the ride. We've been involved with every Ride for Dime since the very first one. With the hippies, and then they couldn't make the show last year, and that's where I stepped in and did the anthem, for them and stuff. So this is a good camp. We're up here Ride for Dime Chicago this year with the Emperors, and I'm probably going to get, hoping to get I hadn't heard word back, but we're working on maybe even the Philadelphia ride, because my buddy Philly Joe out there is close to me, bonded with him, my heart, and him, weekly,
Well, I sure hope, me being from Milwaukee, that you are driving a Harley Davidson or riding a Harley Davidson. Is that how we say it?
No, I'm not that's one thing about me. I'm not a bike rider because, man, these arms and hands are too delicate to even take that chance. And I just, at this stage in the career, I don't want to have any more injuries or go through anything like that. And, I've been a dirt bike rider.
Those fingers are gold.
Nothing on the street, no Harleys.
Those fingers are gold. I remember when I saw you the first and only time at the back bar, and when you took that stage, I was in awe. It was hard for me to get that camera off you and up to Big Daddy because I was so intrigued with your style of your playing, and it was obvious to me that you were a master of the guitar. So is Dean Guitars your guitar of choice, or what is your guitar of choice?
Dean's, there's a good story behind that. I moved to Denison, Texas when I was 16, and at 17, I was rolling through town with Dawkins, and Dawkins was on the brink of the chains record, and here I go out there and go to the club. I'm too young to get in, but I go early enough to meet Dawkins. And then Pantera's in there sound checking and stuff, and man, I meet Dime, and he's playing all Randy Rhoads just got killed, and I'm just seeing the Randy Rhoads stuff, and here's this guy a year older than me, coolest looking dude on the planet, playing the baddest ass guitar and throwing the baddest ass licks out that I'd ever personally heard, and get to meet him and talk with him, and that started it right there. I wanted one of them guitars, and then when Pantera rolled back through Denison, I've got me a band started by that time, and I started scoring them opening slots for Pantera. So from I Am the Night record with the original singer Terrence Lee to the power metal with Cowboys hit done. I never, it was too far. I only get to see them, but for probably like 17, about 20, many times in the North Texas area.
Now,
And finally, the guitar came from, it didn't come from, but it came through him, because I hit him up for a guitar, and he had he had a bunch of them that he buys up, and he's got to get a Floyd Rose and put pickups in and stuff like that. Well, he had some that he was talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna sell you one. I'll get you one. And never happened. And him and Vinny were at a guitar show, and I went, I go to the guitar show there in Dallas, and they got like a 2-mile long line. I one of the guitars, and he says, "Man, I got a buddy over here at another booth. If you hang on, let me get past this line. I'll take you over there to him and introduce you." And that happened just like that. He had 2 of them, and I bought the better of the 2. The one I bought was the Lightning I got, but it was Tobacco Sunburst, like Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar.
do you still have
And
it?
oh yeah, he has 2 of them there, and that's where you can see on the Pissed Off and Mad About It video, all the early stuff.
Okay.
Those are, that's it. Later on, I met a guy from, Sean Hamilton that fronts the band Crankcase out of Houston, and I met him early on in like 89 or 90, and he's a painter, and I was playing in Amarillo, Texas, and his dad happened to be shooting a black car that week, and so I sent it in to him, and on a Tuesday, and he painted it black, threw some lightning on it, and I'm playing it back on stage that Friday night, I run into him. I do stuff with Crankcase quite a bit down there in Houston, and we just did a killer Toys for Tots down there, really good buddy of mine, and it's killer to find the painter, and, if you go to his website, that's the first thing that guitar, it's just playing it and everybody knows it.
Dean Guitars has been, I would like to mention, really, really spectacular. I'm involved with an organization called the United States Entertainment Force, which is organized by Jerry Payne, Veteran of the Year, several years ago. And Dean Guitars, I believe the gentleman who helped us, his name is Gillsby, or that might Gil something out of Texas. And Dean Guitars has signed and done a lot of service for the soldiers and the troops. And we'd just like to thank Dean Guitars for that.
So, we do. There's a music school there in Oklahoma City. Got my they walked in on 05 down in Dallas. Benny Paul and all his camp trip. This was coming to town. Dean Rep. My original, I got an 82 Dean, and when I bust out, I was right on top of them. Dude, these are still out loud. See them many stuff from the original Deans, from Dean Zielinski from that era, and that blew it away. And then when we got on stage, pretty well delivered the goods, and got an email that Monday morning, hey man, we'd like to pick you up on our roster. So that struck up my deal right then, and that's where now I've got the custom signature star out there. They're running it with the Razorback, but I did mine in an ML. That's my number 1 guitar right there.
Well, that is so incredible. We thank you so much for your time today, Randy, and we're super excited about your new projects. Of course, a lot of us are heartbroken about the Texas Hippie Coalition, but we're going to support you, and we are definitely going to follow your career. And I don't know if you know, but I now own a guitar shop here in Burlington, Wisconsin called Rocket Fun Music Records, and I hope when you pass through Wisconsin, you can come in and sign our wall.
Sure will, and man, we can do something there, a little clinic or something for some kids around your area or something.
That would be awesome. We run a teen outreach there for young drug addicts who are trying to move into recovery. We appreciate all you have done for, the charities out there. And I just wanted to quick ask you before I let you get back to your work, did you ever meet Dimebag?
Oh yeah, I did. From like I said, I met him when I was 16, and then straight to they rolled in, and man, there I was, opening shows. They took me down to the ranch in Munster, down to Dallas, and just around the North Texas area. And I opened many shows 3 years, up until the Cowboys gone,
Now today.
So, but that was me. That's man. That's where the guitar came from. That's why, man, that dude right there changed everything. That's why I'm up here you get to watch a guy like that that's around your age and just go through the club scenes and the baddest band in the land, and I got the eyewitness it, man. A lot of people out here, they get turned on to Pantera till later on in the arena days, but boy, if you missed them in the clubs, you really something, because it's to walk in a club and just drop your jaw down and go, wow, there's nothing like that. It had to be like what Metallica was like if you ever went to a club day with them, or something.
That's incredible.
Like that caliber.
Now, today, when you're riding in a car or wherever you're going, be sure to turn on 95.1 Will Rock, and you will hear or turn it up on the radio. They're playing about 5 times a day so far. We had a lot to do with that here at the Milwaukee Rock Examiner. We call our radio stations, and we will definitely call them for your new project, Emperors and Elephants.
Right on. Well, there you go. It's not, you're getting to hear Randy Cooper solo on that dude then every day. That's good to know. I like that.
Well, Randy, you have a great show on Friday night. Keep in touch. Please send us that video clip of you doing the national anthem, because I'd like to viral it on over 1,069 networks for you.
Wow. And I like her, Kellie, let me say, it did break my heart on this hippie thing, because, you take a band of 5 guys that are from Denison, Texas, and, we're sitting in high school drawing pictures of Motley Crue and Kiss, talking about we're going to be rock stars. And, 40 years old, we get a record deal, and then we got to start running around the country and start, kicking doors down. And everybody on the planet started taking notice of what we did out of Denison, Texas. And then I get an injury, and I never get to come back, to actually get with the band, and it broke my heart, too. And, I ain't got nothing but love for the guys. Unfortunate, the break of communication. There was a lot of stuff said behind the scenes, and just slandering of stuff. And once we got to, clear the air, man, it's a good thing to clear that air, with him.
Well, ironically,
from high school,
Ironically, that LP that just came out is called PeaceMaker, and we hope everybody does make peace and we can have some good old rock and roll. Quickly, before we move on, you had mentioned a couple things about Wes. Is Wes still kicking it with Texas Hippie?
No, Wes dropped out, too. It's a hard ride to ride in that thing, and, once you buddy up with people, and I always buddied up with the new guys, my roommates was Cowboy and Michael Hayes, and then dropped, and, the other 15 members that rode through that project, I just latch onto them guys, that was my buddies. But once I got out of the loop, and then Timmy Braun, the PeaceMaker drummer, got out of the loop and kind of left Wes hanging out there by himself, man. And he's probably the baddest guitar player that rode through that camp. And for him to be out there left alone, like that, he was having a miserable ride, And so he just out into the caliber of that kid, something good, and he is something right now, And I talked to Wes quite a bit, and just encourage him, because I know what it was like over that last year of me with separation and going through, and not only coming off the for me, but that kid's ready to go, and he's he's searching for something. He's already hit us up here, if you come across something that's killer, be sure to pass it on to him. So I'm glad I get to say this about him, because I tell you what, that's a class act kid that can throw down with the best of any of them. And I heard a song of his, and the solo of his, I think it's called "Damn You to Hell," and I heard that on the radio, and I heard 48 songs before that thing played. I heard that song, and I heard 8 songs after, and I called Wes, and I said, dude, I just heard your solo and your song, and I said, it blew all 48 before, all 48 of it. And the only thing that John 5 has on Wes is he's got a partner, Rob Zombie, and that's what Wes needs.
Wes does not.
A partner with us, and he is going to get back in, and you'll hear Wes Wallace, I promise.
No, in my opinion, Wes Wallace does not need a partner. He is just wild and crazy and an excellent rocker. We're working pretty closely with the company out of Cincinnati called Broad Horizon Records, and they're looking for guys for studio work. They're looking for guys on the stage. And what I like about the new rock scene is how you guys are up and sharing your talents and moving around. That's something I've never seen before, except within the last 5 years. So it is quite a nice thing in the rock and roll business.
I was, once I got off this injury, I went up there to rehab, transfer the Zero Fame bands up there, doing Pissed Off, and that was my first taste of it. And once Pissed Off with them, I thought, I could turn this corner. Once all the ex-members with a different bass player, and just going, grabbing like that Pride of Texas disc and kind of doing like what Steven Adler did, because it would go over killer. That's the meat and foundation of that band. And I know they're not playing many songs off that record anymore, but blaming people, the fans want to hear that stuff, and that's how they got turned on to it. They compare all 3 records to it, and every one of them comes back to Pride of Texas being their favorite one. And it would go, it would work, and but really it's like the Bible verse says, man, sing a new song,
Now,
so that's what I'm doing, is praying about it, and I want to make some new music.
now the drummer that was in Texas Hippie Coalition when I saw you in Janesville, is he now in I Empire?
That's wrong. That's who I'm playing with this weekend.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Sometimes I get a little confused. I can't keep all you good-looking boys straight. But everybody's rocking.
Something else, isn't he?
Yeah, they're. Everybody is just.
You couldn't put us in the same room to roommate together because of our hair,
Oh, exactly.
We'll make you late for we'll make you late for your shows. We'll get and do our hair at the same time.
Like I said, Randy, I really appreciate your time, and it looks like the Texas Hippie Coalition is basically almost the Texas Hippie Solo Coalition. Things aren't.
Yeah, I know. You got John and Big Dad in there, and man, I don't know. I haven't even. That's one thing is, I'm not going out to Houston when I was there, and all my buddies went to the and stuff, and I had my phone up and I in there and stuff like that, and I just let it be known that hey, so as soon as I got ready to go, I was ready to go for me to.
Well, we do hope for a reunion tour at some point, and I hope to be covering that someday. And as for now,
I will always keep that door open for me. And really what I told Big Daddy, and that's not. I'm gonna lock in with these Jason with the Emperors and Elephants, and I'm not gonna be pulled from this. It's got me a home, and I am surrounded by killer man, and these are good. This is a brotherhood family thing here, man, and I've been around them long enough and know everyone. And I was out there searching for something, and I was getting in with people that I've never met or known, and didn't realize that right underneath my nose, that I've known for like over 5 years, it was right here, and that was good thing about Jason, and I threw that in there and planted that seed that, man, if I could start a band, I would start with him as my drummer. And once I planted that seed right there, it didn't take long for it to grow. Within about 2 weeks, I was getting that phone call, and here I am.
well, here we are. We're supporting E&E, and we're definitely supporting you, Randy. And I'm glad you had a happy birthday yesterday, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful stay in the Midwest.
Dig it. I sure thank you, Kelly, and looking forward to you coming out to the show and turning this corner. And I got a little anxiety on starting a new project where we come from. I felt like I was starting from scratch, but man, with all the the fan base that I played, the people that I played in front of, and stuff like that, it ain't starting from scratch. And I personally know everybody. It seems like, because man, once I got backstage, I could not stand it. I wanted back out of the crowd where all my friends. And I used to walk around festivals and stuff, and walk back in. The guys that the rest of the guys, Big Dad and John or something, would be in there sleep into the room and say, "Man, I know everybody."
Oh yeah.
500 people or 5,000 or whatever. I'm a very approachable guy, and it's not like, man, if you come to one of our shows, I hope I get to meet him. Man, I'm out there. Come up to me and meet me.
Oh,
Introduce yourself. I'm
for
looking forward to
sure.
meeting everybody.
That stage and that crowd becomes an addiction, and I know it. I know it from the other end, but it is something when you're out there meeting all those people that love you, and we all do love you, Randy. And we're so glad you're back on the music scene.
Man, thank you. This is perfect timing too, Kelly, because I've been, idly sitting here and, was not locked in on a direction of what to do. And I held off quite a coming from the NAM show, and I just didn't want that spot to talk about something, just.
Are you still there, Randy? I think we may have lost the call.
Even a project.
Okay.
And Band of Brothers, these guys are really killer. They're as happy to have me as I am. We're going to make some good music together. We got fixing to drop a bomb of a record out here that's really, really good. The singer is killer, and Jesse here, we're throwing, once you get off stage, and I go mingle in the crowd, and I'm talking to him, man, I've heard nothing but great reviews about Jesse, and man turned right to that saying, man, you're saying killer, and he is really good. I'm gonna send you a video clip as soon as I get off here. Can you you got a cell number? You gotta hit me with your cell, and I'll send you a little sample of Jesse singing some Rockstar soundtrack that is freaking fabulous.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, because he's that caliber of singer, man. I'm telling you, and it's he was out here. I'm here when I rolled in here on spring break just to get around the guys and run through stuff with the band and come in here. They sent me 4 songs, and then I come in here and do the library stuff. And we started talking about the soundtrack of Rockstar, and Jesse he just started singing some of the lines, which is killer. And it was like, I said, wow, dude, I wish I'd have got first take on that. I had him do it again so I could get it on video so I could send around to some of my people. I sent it right over the record label, from Carved Records. And,
well, that's beautiful.
Got feedback from that,
Now, are you still affiliated with Carved Records?
Yeah, I'm, that's Tim Porter is from my hometown of Dumas, Texas. These are, Brad White and Max Baker, them are all my finds, right there. I was looking for it. Once I got that Pride of Texas disc in my hand, I started, they put an arena at a casino over there, Skinner and ZZ Top's there, and I'm over there handing out flyers for one of the THC shows. This is before we had anybody had their hand in on us, and I actually handed both of them a flyer, and I scored Max Baker's name, and this guy could help you, and I know what you want to do and where you want to go. This is your guy, and I tracked him down, sent him a disc, and he held on to me, and he said, man, I really like this. Can you come up here? Can you call me on Friday? And I called him Friday, and I called him every day. He said he would not return a call, too busy to take it. I found out I researched him, got an address, so I just drove to Oklahoma City, and I told the guys in the band, hey, when we get out of practice here, I'm headed to Oklahoma City. I'm either going to get my $10 back, get my CD back. He's going to put me on Oklahoma, open it up for Motley Crue. And when I went in that office, I had that attitude, and I walked in there, and I met Brad Baker. He goes, I know you, and he pulled my flyer off his wall.
Awesome.
Up there, and we went over to Brad White's office, right there in the same. They cracked open that Pride of Texas disc and let it roll, and by the time it got to the solo thing, both of them were playing air drums and headbanging, and we went twice, and I walked out of there with a management deal, bring the band up here. I want to shoot videos, and what do you actually want here? I said, I want to open for Motley Crue at Rocklahoma. Bam. Motley Crue, Rocklahoma.
How ironic.
That's the attitude I had. And then both them guys, now they've dropped THC from their management, and but they're both sitting there waiting on me to pull this disc off, and they're going to help me in any direct need. And then I got, same with, the label from Carved, man, this is, family here too.
How ironic.
How ironic. Matter of fact, he showed me my first D chord, that's why I started Tim Porter's band grandpa. So yeah, they're just so you got to handle something that it's got to hit them as hard as No Shame hit them.
It was
It
Tim.
can't be nothing less, and they wouldn't even want to mess with it if it did. So that's the goal, is to get out here and throw that out there, man. And I think I'm surrounded by some elite caliber people that can deliver the goods, man. And there's a good music here. It's good. I'm excited about it, man. This stuff is fun to play. It's exciting, and it's Kellie.
It was Tim from Carved Records, ironically, who hit me up on YouTube 3 years ago, asking me if I could do an interview with you guys and if I could promote Pissed Off and Mad About It. So that is just a wonderful wrap up to this completely wonderful conversation. And again, Randy, we thank you for your time, and I will send you my email address because I really, really want to see that video clip. I don't use cell phones. I'm a Skype all the way, so I hope you could get that clip to my email somehow.
Okay, and all right, let me write this down.
I'm going to send it to you. Can you get your messages via Facebook?
Oh, yeah, and yes, I can.
Okay.
And, and then I will have that sent over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, and we will be out promoting.
And I'm going to send you the video clip of the Rogers, and I'm going to send you a clip of my little, just showing off.
I'll be waiting.
Right on. Okay, Kellie, good. Thank you. Thank you for this. I needed this, and
So did I. It makes us feel a lot better.
Make sure you got the part on, the love for the hippies that I got.
Oh, yeah, the hippies are in your heart.
No bad blood on anything. Me and Big Dad has cleared the air, talked for the first time, and it's really good. And I let them know that my services are here. They know that if they needed me, I'm a phone call away.
Awesome, Randy. And you have a rockin' fun day.
Bye-bye, hon. We'll see you.
Okay, bye-bye.